Atletico Madrid 1, Manchester United 1. A late goal from Anthony Elanga sealing what is a pretty decent result for Manchester United. It didn't feel like it for a lot of long periods of those of that game that we would get, that result, take the game back to Old Trafford, only needing a win to go through, and a draw would take us to extra time. Any draw now, obviously with the lack of away goals. Decent result, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we were first half FC a couple of games leading up to this one, but definitely not today. We were quite sloppy in the first half and gave away a couple of chances, and Atletico just made the most of their strikers being on top of on the feet, on their A game, and their goal was brilliant in the first 7 minutes. You can't knock it. You can sort of pick defenders out who were in the right position, and of course they could do better. But Felix's movement was brilliant, just swooping round. The ball was incredible. So we go 1-0 down. Atletico look like they have the first half wrapped up.
Yeah.
We worry about the second half, didn't we?
Yeah.
But I tell you what, the biggest thing was Matic for me. Matic came in, allowed a sense of calmness to just join his midfield, and then his defenders felt calm. He was on the ball more, and he was allowing his attackers to have more freedom when they got on it, because they know if they lost it, Matic would be there. I think Matic changed the game, and I think the subs were great. Ralph's brought on like some subs over the last 2 games that have done really well. It's like, are we always just going to be now sub FC?
Yeah, I know.
We don't want to go down Dewey all the time and then need subs to sort of change the game. But I enjoyed it, mate.
Yeah.
Great celebrations by us as well in the watch along.
Yeah, very exciting, wasn't it? It was good. I mean, it was one of those games where I think before the game, most of us would have taken a 1-1.
Yeah.
And I think especially having seen the game, having seen how poor United were, how much we gave the ball away, how few of our big players turned up in that game. Like if you go through our team, we were talking before the game, maybe before the watch along. Who are the players that are the big players that we need to stand out today? It's Ronaldo, it's Pogba, it's Bruno, it's Rashford. And how many of them stood out? None of them. They were all anywhere from anonymous to actively bad.
Yeah.
And yet we take a result that even on, this team, maybe on the best day we could have got a win, but even on this team's decent day, we would have taken a 1-1 draw. That's not a bad result away from home. Obviously, the away goals rule, like I've said already, isn't in effect anymore, which does change things because that would be an even better result
wouldn't it? Yeah.
if that had been the case. But we take it to Old Trafford that a draw takes us to extra time and any win puts us through. That's not a bad position to be in, is it?
Not at all. I'm excited for that second. We're going to have a tough month in the build-up to the second leg.
Yeah.
Let's not think it's going to be all roses, but Rashford will steal the headlines, I think, for many United fans, because there was many stages of that game where his head was down a bit and you needed him to do something to spark his play, and he didn't. Yeah. There was an opportunity in the second half, maybe about 55 minutes in. You remember it if you're a United fan watching it, where the ball lands to him, he's outside their box, and the shot he has was horrific.
It's literally like 35 yards out, isn't it?
It really was bad.
Yeah.
And that sort of summed up his game. Maybe he needs a rest for a bit, but I don't think he should be a starting United player for a while.
No. Yeah, it's pretty poor from Rashford at the minute. Let's focus on a bit of a positive. Anthony Elanga comes on as a sub, makes that running behind, capitalises on a piece of maybe slightly poor defending or just get his feet kind of tangled up into the defender and slots in a fantastic finish past Jan Oblak. Like one of those finishes where you sort of think, is that angle even on? Obviously, you saw the angle was there, and he sort of slices across the ball. Whether there was a slice of luck in there as well, I'm not sure. But it's a brilliant finish from Elanga, isn't it?
But the thing is, what you got to take away from that is the confidence that he is in a Champions League round of 16. He's in a packed stadium in Madrid. Yeah. He's in the Champions League, which is the biggest competition
against
in the world.
One of the biggest teams in the world as well.
And he's found the ball at his feet.
Yeah.
And, the pressure that must add onto you. I've never been in that situation before, surprisingly. But he took it so well, which can only mean that if he's got this confidence, if he's got the ability, he can work on stuff going forward. And he's got some people that he can look to improve his game. And hopefully Elanga is going to be those moments like that, those headline-grabbing moments are what can excel a player. I hope he learns from it, and I hope he just goes and pushes on now. Because, I mean, he shoots himself straight to the first team, doesn't he?
You've got to, surely. I mean, like I said, Rashford's performance was so poor. And you go through the team, and I don't want this to be a negative thing because that is a result that I think is not just like a neutral result. I think that's a decent result. I think that's a good result. Like, obviously, a lot of us were predicting wins before the game, and Atletico aren't going through their best period. But to go away from home, that stadium as well, where they're so used to closing games out, they're so used to doing that, and to get that goal when we played so poorly. So not to focus on the negatives too much in what was a good result, but there were a lot of problems in that game for United.
Yeah, there were a lot of problems. Can I also say that Atletico Madrid had certain tactics. They executed them well, but they were dirty. They were quite dirty. The professional fouls, the grabbing players, the isolate. Like Paul Pogba had a bad game. You'd say he had a bad game. He came off 60 minutes. One of the reasons why was because whenever he got the ball, there were about 2 or 3 players around him. Yeah. They isolated him. They got at him. They nibbled at his feet, and he just looked frustrated. So some negatives for United's side were brought on from Atletico Madrid's
No, of course they do deserve a bit of credit, I think. But certain
they
things,
were annoying, aren't they?
Some of those things that we saw in the first portion of the season under Solskjaer, where 5 and 10 yard passes being and time again misplaced. Bruno was doing it all night. Pogba was getting caught out of possession all the time. Like you said, they did really well to isolate him and put 2 men on him whenever he got the ball. Because what Pogba likes to do, as we all know, is he gets the ball, he pushes his man off, and then he has a bit of space. Yeah. But what he was doing, he was getting the ball, pushing his man off, and the second man's coming. He just didn't have any space all night. But the likes of Bruno, Fred, Luke Shaw had a stinker. I think Varane looked a little bit shaky at times as well. But Luke Shaw, like, just no intensity to him whatsoever anymore. I don't understand how that's the same man we saw last season.
The more we analyse the game, the more we got to be thankful for the result we got out of it. Because you list them players. If you were going to tell us at the start of the game that we were going to have 7, 8 players at United perform 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, but we were still going to get a draw, God, we would have taken it.
But you know, as much as I give credit to Atletico for how they handled the likes of Pogba and Bruno, and Ronaldo didn't get a touch all night, one thing I would say about them is, and maybe this is something you could criticise them for throughout the last sort of decade, if they were slightly more front foot, I have no doubt that they would have got more than 1 goal tonight. Of
course they would have.
If it weren't for the fact that they just were Atletico in it, where they get their early goal, great bit of play, and then basically sat back. They had 2 more chances
They hit the bar twice, didn't they?
They did hit the bar twice. But if they'd have gone for it more, they could have easily got a second or third goal. We were so bad. And like I said, even the likes of Varane, I can't believe I'm saying this, I think Maguire was arguably the least error-prone defender tonight. Lindelof came off. I didn't think he had a bad game, but again, completely isolated. Couldn't get anything going down that right-hand side. Varane, few sloppy passes, caught out of position a couple of times. Maguire didn't look excellent, but just sort of had a decent game. And Shaw was really poor. Like, Tellez stood out above Luke Shaw when he came on.
Tellez really did. And his attitude as well. Attitude was a massive thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I don't want to focus on just the negatives, because like I said, it's a decent result, but things need to change in that second leg, because if they're backed into a corner, Atletico, and they have to push after us, I don't see the team we saw for 65 minutes being able to hold them off against Old Trafford, regardless of the fact that we're at home and they're not. Another positive, Matic looked good when he came on, didn't he?
Looked brilliant.
What was that about?
I don't know if this is the new way we could play Matic, because he's getting older than his feet, maybe not able to last the 90 minutes, but those 30 minutes where he came on and he just calmed everything down. He had such great control of the ball. He was everywhere, it felt. Yeah. So it felt like his energy that he might give for a full 90 minutes, he was able to just distribute for a good 30 minutes of play. And I loved it. And it just seemed like, do you know, in the first half, we were worried about everything because Atletico had the ball so much. And you're like, if they wanted to now, like you said just then, they could probably score another here. When Matic was there, you're thinking, no, I think Matic might play up a bit here. I think Matic might get a foot in there. I think Matic might be able to tackle him there. So he really helped me as a United fan watch the game with a slightly bit more, a good bum, as you say. What? No.
Excuse you. You watched it with a good bum, did you? Lucky man. I was in the room and I didn't notice you doing that.
I didn't poo myself because I was scared Atletico Madrid.
Right, that makes more sense.
Not a good bum. I mean, I was on the watch long. That would have been interesting.
Maybe we'll cut the camera around it. Sim008 says, cheers, boys, tonight from DC. Too many things to gripe about tonight, but I'm super proud that they didn't give up. Whoa, it's Elanga. Yeah, exactly. We've got a couple more super chats as well. Get your super chats in and get your comments in as well. Danny Acevedo says, don't call me avocado this time. Yeah, Jay accidentally called him Danny Avocado last time because Jay can't read. He said, I was listening to the match in my car and almost wrecked when Elanga scored. Yeah, I think we all did. Adam McCullough wasn't even in the fucking room.
Can't believe he went for a wee, but it always happens. If you need a wee in these watch longs,
I had to run off to try and find everyone when we scored because I wanted to hug people.
Yeah.
On to Elanga then. I know you kind of talked about him already, but he surely has to start that second leg because at the moment Rashford is almost sort of counterproductive in the team. He's doing so many things wrong time and time again. And Elanga comes in, gets the goal, is obviously having a great season. I know it's only 3 goals for him, but some important goals in there. Brilliant for him, isn't it? Even if nothing, I always say this, but let's say he doesn't go on to have Wayne Rooney's career or even Marcus Rashford's career at Manchester United. He's got some fucking good moments to look back on, hasn't he? This is a huge goal for him.
Yeah, he really does. It fires him into the starting lineup. Has to be. I hope he's got what it takes. I know he started before for United, and he may have the actual, I don't know, because when you start in your career, those moments where you get on the pitch, you make every minute count. Yeah. There's an added pressure when you're actually on the starting 11 and the manager trusts you to be in the attacking lineup. I hope that with a bit more confidence now that he's been playing, even confidence in terms of little things add up. He's doing a media interview now as we watch the TV. There's a smile on his face. These interviews and these moments, he'll all tally up to hopefully allow him just that confidence that when he starts a game for United, because I think March we might need him. Yeah, he is the man on the pitch, providing goals, scoring goals.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? And again, looking at that second leg, then obviously I know it's not 3 weeks away now, so could be injuries, could be people missing for whatever reason. But assuming we've got a roughly full squad to play with, we need to see more from the likes of specifically Pogba and Bruno. I think were the two, because we know that's the thing. We know with Ronaldo, he's not going to be making 70, 80 passes a game anymore. Not that he ever did, but he's not that kind of player. He's 1 or 2 touch here and there, putting the ball in the back of the net. Pogba and Bruno were anywhere from isolated and just lacking ability to poor. Bruno gave the ball away so much, and like we were saying, we said it on here. Me, McCall, and you said it on here. After 2 minutes, you could see he's lost his head tonight. He looks nervy. He looks edgy. He's screaming at everyone. He's giving the ball away. He's in that mode where he's trying too much. We need to see more from that midfield next time, because fair enough, we've lost McTominay for this game, which obviously is a big player for Rangnick. But those two in there, they should have done more tonight, shouldn't they?
Yeah, they should have. It's just interesting. I don't know if the game was tomorrow, how would we play it? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, what have we learned from Atletico Madrid? I think the scary thing is that there's a couple of players ready to come back for them, and they might have a better squad when they come to Old Trafford. But by then, we'll be ready for them. We'll already have faced some of the biggest teams in the Premier League. We've got a derby to get under our belt. And hopefully the players that we mentioned before, like Bruno, Pogba, and Ronaldo, they need to know that we don't get to the next stage of the Champions League if they don't perform. And it's not about you as an individual. It's about the team. It's about the 75,000 at Old Trafford. Yeah. You've got to start. Like you said, when the first goal goes in 7 minutes, they all look like Bruno and Ronaldo looked deflated, looked angry at each other. That's not the attitude we needed. Ronaldo changes the game if he looks at all of his teammates and goes, come on, head up, chin up, big deep breaths, ball to the centre half, and we go again. But he doesn't. He's shouting, he's screaming. That attitude needs to change. If Ralph needs to say something to him, but does Ralph want to just to stir the pot that much? Or does he just leave a player like Ronaldo to it? Definitely pull Bruno to one side. He shouldn't be running the team like that. I'm just saying, listen, that attitude, shouting in people's faces, looking upset and distressed, turn it into a positive. Start backing players and start shouting at them in a good way. Listen, I know you did a mistake there, but we go again.
I think we need that thing as well where you look at the game tonight. We've got a favourable result, a result that is better for us than it is for Atletico Madrid. I don't think anyone would argue that. It's not the best result we could have hoped for, but we will be happy with that than they will.
Of course.
And yet, we were poor. We have to use this as a wake-up call. It's absolutely crucial that we use this as a wake-up call, because if we don't, like I said, if they're pushing and they need let's say one goal, let's say we're 1-0 up, or it's 0-0 with 70 minutes gone. If they push, they'll make 2 or 3 chances in 10 minutes. We have to use tonight as a wake-up call, because we didn't really deserve to get a win, and a draw, and yet we've got it. So, like you said, the players like Bruno, like Pogba, like Rashford, like Ronaldo, even maybe Varane. I know obviously he wasn't a poor game for him, but just one of those games where you go, you're a bit sloppy tonight.
Yeah.
We've tasted the intensity that we need to win these sorts of matches, and we weren't quite up to it, and yet we've still got a draw. We have to step it up for the next one. Pogba has to be faster on the ball.
Yeah.
Bruno has to be faster on the ball. Ronaldo needs to get in the fucking box. He was so isolated and frustrated that he comes deep to get the ball.
Yeah.
Then you've got Telles crossing the ball into no one.
Oh,
there was a
that's
time tonight where
embarrassing.
Elanga's at the back post, coming in from the right hand side, and he's the only person in the box when we're crossing the ball in.
Yeah.
We need to do
Not
better
good
than
enough,
that.
is it?
But that's the thing. Hopefully they can use what was maybe a slightly fortunate result as a wake-up call and think there's an intensity that we haven't had to play to for the last 2 months because we've played mid-table teams and championship teams. Maybe they've been reminded of that tonight, and hopefully we can push on with that. We've got some chats here. Jamal Anderson says... oh, no, let's not say that one, sorry. Andrew says, Shaw slows the game so badly. He walks as he plays. He takes too long on to throw the ball. He doesn't run forward and take on players. That's the problem with Luke Shaw, isn't it?
Yeah.
It takes so long on the ball. And there's a point, I think, is that the game...
He looks so vacant in his
What's
face.
going on with
as
Luke
well.
Shaw? Is he just can't be asked?
If you're being harsh and you're going, right, who's done, like, in the squad at the minute, who really needs a break, who might even, be a bit of dead wood come the end of the season when a new manager comes in, you'd point at Shaw because he doesn't look like he wants his place. He knows he's got competition, so why isn't he pulling out the biggest performances of his career? This is a man that had the whole of England, like, took the breath away in the first opening minutes of a Euro 22 was it? 22 final. And from being in the starting squad or in a final to just slowly falling down and looking not asked about being in the United squad. But we're champions, Champions League. And
it's
also, around 16.
When you talk about like players like
the
Luke
world's
Shaw,
watching.
If you want to be critical of him, you could say that he has been top level for 6 months of the last 5 years. If you wanted to be really critical, that's how good he's been over the last 5 years. He's been at that top level where you go, fucking hell, he could play for a title-winning team. He's been at that level for 6 months out of the last 5 years. That's not good enough. That's not enough for you to be resting on your laurels now. And Telles came on tonight, and the intensity level was night and day. Telles comes on, looks like he gives a shit, gets a few balls in the box, raises the atmosphere a little bit, and we look dangerous. Luke Shaw plays, and he can't be asked to overlap, and he don't want to push up, and when he gets the ball, he takes too long to pass it, or he just plays sideways passes inside all the time. Telles is nutmegging people and whipping the ball in. It's like he just thinks, right, I've got to the final of the Euros, that's me done. And he just can't be asked anymore. But anyway, let's focus on some positives before we go. This result in and of itself, good result. What chance do you sort of take, or do you give United now with that second leg at Old Trafford?
We've got a tough match to come. So we'll have many of these videos looking at many of these players, and who knows who might find form then and who might drop off a bit. But I hope we have learned from what Atletico can do in terms of being a bit dirty, being a team that are very well drilled, are very good at pressing, extremely good in the counter-attack. Let's make sure, no matter what our team looks like, we have learned that Atletico, we do not underestimate them. They'll come to Old Trafford. They need a win, and that is... I say it, they need to score goals as well. They'll probably have Griezmann and Suarez starting, which change the dynamics of their squad for the better for them. So the positives for us is that I hope that the coaching staff and the manager can look at Atletico and realise that the challenge is big, the challenge is ahead of us, but can get a United team. Because I don't want to talk about players that are on form, because we're such a rollercoaster team that Luke Shaw might be the best player in United, because he might come back for 2 games and be unbelievable. So I think the positives can only be taking Atletico Madrid and going, right, actually... They are good, but we can beat these. Imagine that. Right? Imagine it's the quarterfinals of the Champions League of a squad that people think is shit.
And I think it's a good point to make as well that as much as maybe we were slightly lucky and we gave the ball away a lot and they pressed us well, they didn't outclass us. No. This wasn't like a look. It was we had some fortune, but this wasn't like they were amazing, we were shit. Like, do you remember the Juventus game when we scored in the last minute and I think we either beat them or we drew under with Jose?
Or something?
And Matt scored a free kick to get us out of the group stages. You went, we got battered in that game, and yet we won. We didn't get battered tonight. We just had some good fortune when United were poor, but I don't think they're 2 or 3 levels above us, I think we can beat them at Old Trafford. So thank you very much for joining us. Manchester United 1, Atletico Madrid 1. Anthony Elanga with the late equaliser. This tie is hanging in the balance.
It's hanging in the balance.
But it's a good result for Manchester United. Check out Joe McGrath.
Go follow me, Joe McGrath 95. Joe McGrath 95 on Instagram. That's all I care about.
Joe McGrath 95 on Instagram. Check him out. Thank you to everyone for watching at home. Thank you to Manchester United. Thank you, Elanga, for saving our souls a little bit. Manchester United 1, Atletico Madrid 1. It's all on! Right.